Each one of us arrives on this earth not by accident, but by intention. Life itself is not a random sequence of events. It is a call, an invitation and a whisper from within that says, you were born to live with purpose. When you awaken to this truth, life stops being a struggle. You begin to flow. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop asking, what do I want? And instead begin to ask, how may I serve? Today, I want to guide you into the essence of living a purpose-driven life, because only when we live with purpose do we taste the fullness of existence. Every human being is born with an inner map. This map is not written on paper, nor is it found in books, nor is it dictated by society. It is inscribed in your soul. It is the quiet, steady whisper inside of you that has always known the direction you were meant to take. The trouble is, most of us have been taught to ignore it. From childhood, we are told to listen to the world outside, instead of the voice within. Parents, teachers, friends, and culture at large tell us who we should be, what we should want, and how we should live. Over time, the voice of the soul grows faint under the noise of expectations. But if you pause, if you dare to get still, you will feel it again. You will sense that inner compass pulling you toward your truth. Your soul does not shout, it whispers. It does not command, it gently nudges. It does not demand urgency. It waits with infinite patience for you to remember. Your true purpose is never something you invent. It is not created out of thin air, nor does it come from chasing the latest trend or comparing yourself with others. Purpose is discovered. It is already there, waiting for you to awaken to it. Think of it like a seed inside of you. That seed has everything it needs to grow into a tree. All you must do is provide the right conditions: silence, awareness, and trust. You may have felt moments of alignment before. Times when you were so absorbed in something that you lost all sense of time. Moments when you felt alive, expanded, and deeply fulfilled, even if there was no external reward. That is your soul's way of saying, this is who you are. This is what you are here for. Too many people live disconnected from this truth. They chase money, recognition, and external approval, only to wake up one day feeling empty. The reason is simple. You cannot live someone else's path and expect to feel whole. Only your path will satisfy you. Only your soul's direction will bring you peace. But the invitation is simple. Turn inward. Ask yourself, what makes me feel alive? What lights up my spirit? What have I always known deep inside, but perhaps ignored out of fear or doubt? When you begin to follow that inner compass, life opens up in miraculous ways. Synchronicities appear. Doors open. People show up at the right time. What once felt like struggle begins to feel like flow. Remember this truth. Your soul has always known the way. You do not have to figure it all out with your mind. You only have to listen, trust, and follow. When you do, purpose is not something far away. It is who you already are. Every person is born with an inner compass, a quiet but unshakable knowing that guides them toward their true purpose. It is not loud, it is not forceful, and it is not found outside of you. It lives deep within your soul, whispering gently that this is who you are meant to be. This is the path you are meant to walk. The problem is, most of us have been trained to ignore it. From a young age, we are influenced by the voices of parents, teachers, friends, and society. These voices, though well-meaning, often drown out the one voice that matters most, the voice of your own soul. You are told what career to pursue, what success should look like, and what kind of life you should strive for. Yet deep inside, you may feel a quiet resistance, a sense that something is missing, that you are living a script written by others rather than your own. Purpose is not something you invent. It is something you awaken to. Like a seed that already holds within it the blueprint of the tree it will become. Your purpose is encoded in your being. You don't need to go searching in faraway places. You don't need to wait for someone to hand it to you. You only need to create the conditions to discover it. Stillness, silence, and trust. Have you ever experienced moments where time seemed to disappear? When you were so immersed in what you were doing that the world around you faded away, and you felt deeply alive. That was your soul's compass pointing you toward purpose. It is not random. It is guidance. Many people live their whole lives ignoring that compass. They chase careers for status, relationships for security, or goals for validation. They may achieve these things, but they wake up one day with an empty feeling, because nothing external can fill the void of an unlived purpose. Your invitation is to turn inward. Listen to the subtle whispers. Ask yourself, what lights me up? What do I lose myself in? What feels natural, joyful, and expansive? These questions are not trivial. They are pathways to remembering who you are. When you begin to align with your inner knowing, life takes on a new rhythm. What once felt forced begins to flow. People, opportunities, and resources show up as if by magic, because you are moving in harmony with the deeper intelligence of the universe. Remember this, your soul has always known the way. You don't need to chase purpose. You need to allow it. Trust yourself, trust the whisper. Trust that when you step into your true path, everything you need will unfold at the right time. At the heart of every great life lies a simple truth. Purpose is found not in what you take, but in what you give. The most fulfilled people are not those who amass the most wealth or recognition, but those who align their lives with service. Service does not always mean grand gestures. It is not limited to charity, philanthropy, or large-scale impact. Service can be as simple as listening to someone with genuine attention, offering kindness where there was none, or bringing a little light into a dark space. Purpose begins when you shift the question from what can I get from the world, to what can I get from the world, to what can I give. When you live in this way, you step into a greater flow of life. Fulfillment arises not because you have checked off external achievements, but because you know in your heart you are contributing something meaningful. Each day, you have an opportunity to ask, how can I be of service? True service is not about sacrificing yourself. It is not about draining your energy to please others. It is about aligning your unique gifts, talents, and passions with the needs of the world. Each person has something distinct to offer, a kindness, a creativity, a strength of vision that can uplift others. Your purpose lies at the intersection of what you love and how it serves others. When you shift into service, even the smallest acts take on deeper meaning. Holding the door for someone, smiling at a stranger, offering encouragement, or giving your time. These ripple out in ways you may never see. Your purpose is not measured by size, but by sincerity. Ironically, when you focus on giving, life gives back to you in abundance. Joy multiplies. Relationships deepen. Opportunities appear. This is not a transaction. It is a natural law. When you give from the heart, the universe mirrors that energy back to you in ways you could never plan. Think about the moments in your life when you felt most alive. Chances are those were moments when you were contributing to something beyond yourself. The human spirit longs to give, to serve, to expand beyond the boundaries of ME and enter the vastness of OE. So ask yourself today, where can I serve? How can I bring value, kindness, or healing into the spaces I walk into? When you live in service, you no longer wonder if your life has purpose, because service itself is purpose. One of the greatest obstacles to living with purpose is our obsession with results. We are taught from childhood to measure our lives by outcomes, grades, promotions, money, or recognition. But this mindset creates a trap. If purpose is tied only to results, we will constantly feel disappointed, because life is unpredictable and outcomes are never fully in our control. The shift comes when you stop attaching your worth to outcomes and instead anchor yourself in intention. Intention is the energy behind your actions. It is the why, not the what. When your intention is aligned with love, growth, and service, your life becomes purposeful regardless of the result. For example, imagine planting a seed. You do not control how quickly it sprouts, how tall it grows, or what storms it will face. But you can control the intention with which you plant it. With care, with patience, with trust. Life works in the same way. You cannot dictate the timing of results, but you can infuse each action with meaningful intention. Detachment from outcomes does not mean apathy. It means trusting that the universe has a greater plan than your mind can see. It means showing up fully, giving your best, and then releasing the need to control how things unfold. Ironically, when you stop clinging to results, you often achieve more than you imagined. Why? Because you are no longer weighed down by fear, pressure, or the need for validation. You act from a place of freedom and creativity, and that energy is magnetic. Living by intention also protects you from burnout. If your purpose is tied to results, you may feel like a failure when things don't go as planned. But if your purpose is tied to intention, every step is meaningful. Whether the result looks like a success or a failure, You know you're living in alignment with your deeper truth. So ask yourself, what is my intention today? What energy do I want to bring into this moment? When you focus on intention, even ordinary tasks become sacred. Making a meal, working at your job, caring for family, or pursuing a dream all take on deeper meaning when done with love and awareness. Detaching from outcomes and living by intention frees you. It allows you to live your purpose without fear, knowing that your worth is not in the result, but in the energy you bring. Purpose is not a static destination. It is a dynamic journey. To live with purpose is to grow, to evolve, and to become more than you were yesterday. Purpose stretches you beyond your comfort zone. It asks you to rise to challenges, to face your fears, and to embrace change. So many people resist growth because it is uncomfortable. They cling to the familiar, even when it keeps them small. But life will always present obstacles, not as punishments, but as invitations. Every difficulty you face carries within it the seed of growth. Every challenge is a stepping stone toward your higher self. When you shift your perspective, problems stop being barriers and become teachers. That failure, it was showing you resilience. That heartbreak, it was teaching you compassion. That setback, it was preparing you for something greater. Growth is the bridge between who you are and who you are meant to be. Purpose cannot be fulfilled by saying this. Imagine a tree refusing to grow beyond its first branch. It would never reach its full height, never bear fruit, never provide shade. In the same way, if you refuse to grow, you limit your ability to serve, to love, and to express your soul's purpose. Growth demands courage. It means stepping into the unknown, trying, failing, learning, and rising again. It means saying yes to opportunities even when you feel afraid. It means letting go of old beliefs that no longer serve you and embracing new ways of thinking. The beauty of growth is that it expands not only you, but everyone around you. When you evolve, you inspire others to evolve. When you face your fears, you show others what is possible. Your growth is never just about you. It ripples outward. So the question is not will you face challenges. The question is how will you use them. Each challenge is an invitation to go closer to your true self and your deeper purpose. Embrace growth as part of your path. Celebrate it. Even when it feels uncomfortable, know that it is shaping you into the person capable of living your highest calling. Purpose is not found in avoiding struggle, but in growing through it. So many people spend their lives waiting for the right time. They tell themselves, when I have more money, then I'll live my purpose. When I retire, then I'll give back. When the perfect opportunity arrives, then I'll follow my calling. But life does not wait. Purpose is not in the distant future, it is in the present moment. The present moment is your only true stage of life. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. All you ever truly have is now. To live with purpose, you must bring your awareness fully here into the moment in front of you. This does not mean you stop dreaming or planning. It means you stop postponing your life. Your purpose is not hiding in some grand faraway achievement. It is expressed in how you show up right now. The way you treat the cashier at the store. The way you speak to your loved ones. The way you approach your work. When you align with the present, you begin to see the sacred in the ordinary. Washing dishes can be an act of mindfulness. Walking outside can be a meditation. Conversation with a friend can be an opportunity to bring love. Purpose lies in these moments, not just in the milestones. Living in the present also frees you from regret and anxiety. Regret lives in the past. Anxiety lives in the future. Purpose lives in neither. Purpose lives only here. Try this. Pause and take a deep breath. Notice the sounds around you, the sensations in your body, the rhythm of your breathing. This is presence. This is where life unfolds. And this is where your purpose is lived. Not in the abstract, but in this exact moment. When you bring full awareness to each moment, you stop waiting for life to begin and realize it is already happening. You stop chasing purpose as if it's somewhere far away and instead embody it now. Remember, your purpose is not something you will one day arrive at. It is something you live moment by moment, choice by choice, breath by breath. At the deepest level, all purpose flows into one truth, love. The rest, the career, the achievements, the recognition, are simply details. Love is the foundation. So ask yourself, am I acting from love or from fear? This question will guide you back to purpose again and again.